best fucking. Alright, stream is live. Alright, stream is live. Alright, let's get it. There we go. Okay. Welcome everybody. We are working on a plane project, like vehicles in general, for the subscribers. This will be given away for free as soon as it's done. Try to make it as advanced as possible. So it is extremely loud. Might need to turn it down a little bit because it might be loud for you guys as well. But yeah, if you go in here, you have your plane. Right now the interp is a little wonky. The reason for that is because we are working on interping the rotation of the plane. But if I disable that by default, there you go. You have your nice little plane movement already set up. I kind of want to have it so that, like, if you turn, it will like go back to the original position, if you know what I mean. So that's kind of what this is. Just trying to figure out how I kind of want to do this. Because I was thinking by doing it with if it's like within a certain range, then it just interps back to the default. But what I think might be easier to do is to check if we want to do this. And on begin play, we just save our relative rotation. So we just configure parameter. We don't need that for now. Just go here. So we'll just say get relative rotation. I think if I need to do it for the mesh, get relative rotation. Yeah. Okay. And then we just save this as our default relative rotation on begin play. It's basically just going to be 0, 0, 0, 0, but just in case, you know what I mean? So if we want to interpret the rotation, we can say our interp from our current, which is our get our relative rotation from our mesh again. This will be the rotation that the mesh currently has. And then our delta seconds, interp speed, let's say like, let's do quite slow, let's say like 4. And then we just want to set the relative rotation. I'm not quite sure if this is going to work, so don't quote me on this right now, but we're gonna see if it works. So in our tick, we have it enabled. Okay, good. Let's just try it. All right. It's working. Now the problem we're running into, and that was a problem I was having as well, is because our role, like everything is connected together right now. If we, for example, pitch up, it should only fix the pitch up, not everything else. So we'll have to split this up basically. So if we just do this and then we can split this, let's try for the pitch first, okay? So we have pitch, and we need to first check if our pitch input is equal to 0. And if it is equal to 0, only then we want to interrupt this. Otherwise, we don't care about it. Okay. Problem we're currently running into is that we need to split this. Roll and yaw needs to be this, so it doesn't set it back to 0. It is working, but the problem we're running into is that this 0 is way too specific. So we'll probably need to do a in range. And let's say like minus 0.2 and 0.2. It's gonna be too much, I think, but we'll see. Pitch. It's still janky, like it janks quite a bit. I could set it faster. What if we just set it to 0? Okay. Then here we just use that, okay, and 4. And if it is within 0.1, it's working, but it's so janky, you know what I mean? Like, it's too janky. That's actually really good. What if we just interrupt this by our drag amount? And it slowly goes back. Slowly goes back. Good. I'm quickly going to do something because this is, let's say, mouse, keyboard, overlay, OBS, input overlay 5.4. Let's try to download like an input overlay for you guys so that you can just see what I'm doing, right? If I'm controlling the mouse or not, because I can say like, oh, it's working, but you know, you guys might not actually see that. So let's quickly install that. Maybe it's not the best thing that you guys can see all my drives, but I trust you. I trust you. All right, finish installing that. Let's quickly see where it is. Inputs. That's the. Wait, do I need to add it here? Custom widgets. Is it a custom widget? I'm sorry guys, this will only take like a second, but there should be a shortcut, but I do not see said shortcut. Should it go on this side of the desktop? No. Just quickly look for it. Let's see. So overlay. I can't seem to really get it fixed. But, it is working. It's slowly getting, like it's slowly putting it back at 0. We might use like 0.5. It can be a little bit. I think 0.8 maybe. And I'm gonna turn down the weather effect for a second. If I just say clear skies. There you go. So now the pitch is going back to 0. So if I, for example, go up and then out, let go, slowly goes back to 0. Now we just need to do it for the other things as well. So let's copy this, copy all of this and this. Let's actually put this into a function. I think might be the best thing. No, because we need to know like what this is going to be. So we're just going to, if we just grab this, right, all of this, move this up, and we just create a sequence with 3 inputs once again. So here, and we just so this is pitch. Then we just copy and paste. This will be, grab this out of here. So we have pitch. Don't know why this is all messed up. So this was, yeah, pitch. This will be yaw. And we just say get yaw. Exit value for yaw. This will go into then 1. And then we want to make sure that we take the yaw from this guy. Pitch from that. Okay. Now we just need to copy it one more time. So, like so. And this will be the roll. Okay. Now that we have this, this will be the roll from this one, the yaw from this one. Now let's see. If I roll, slowly goes back. It's a little janky if you like jerk it around, but in general it's fine. Then we'll always just go. It is quite janky if you roll it like this because you go back to the initial input really quickly. What we could do is we could also interrupt our roll before we go to here. I think that's fine. Let's turn it down a little bit so it's even more smooth and giving the player some more time to react. What we could also do is just check it and have 3 different functions and then say like if an input hasn't been touched for like a second, if it's like 0 for a second long, then enter back. But it's not worried too much about this for now. It's working, but we'll work on it a little bit more. Okay, so we have our input. We can like hang upside down, no problem, you know what I mean? But now we want to actually make it so that, first of all, our spring arm is not properly attached to the mesh, which we also don't want it to be, pretty sure, which is this one. Well, it is targeted to it. I think it's because we cleared this one. If I set this up to be like jet, right? Yeah, okay. Say jet 1, whatever. Because we wanted to be able, we wanted to follow the, plane, right? So it's like that, like you don't want to have it like this, you actually want to know where you're flying. So for that we need to, well, it needs to be attached to the plane, which it is, so kind of surprised why it's not really attached properly. But I think it's because in our jet 1 we altered it a little bit. So to go to our jet itself, check, it is attached. We have rotation lag. If I disable that, it's not gonna matter, is it? Yeah, no. See, it's just not connected to the mesh for some reason. Can we do it differently? Can I remove cameras? Okay, and I can also, okay, good. Let's add a spring arm for now. Camera to that. Make sure that it is attached. 2500 for now. It's gonna be mad because we have code to switch cameras, which we do not need for now. Look around, also don't need that for now. We just want it to be parented. Okay, so now it's parented to the plane properly, which is good. Now we just want to add rotation and camera lag. Alright, as you can see, now that's looking better. Now we just want to adjust the camera location a little bit. So if I go to my plane, or is it jet 01? Okay. Can pilot it and adjust the spring arm a little bit to make it look better. First bring it in. Unpilot it for some reason. Okay. Move it up. It keeps unpiloting you if you change the camera angle, apparently. Let's put it like somewhere like right there. It's fine, I think. Maybe turn it a little bit more. Okay. Let's not worry too much about it. Max distance. There we go. Let's turn down the rotation. Lag. If you have like a really slow camera, speed it up a little bit, because we don't want it to be so slow. And I just realized you guys can't actually see what I'm doing. So there you go. Fix that. Yeah, there you go. Now you have your... So the plane movement itself is fine, right? Let me turn up my sensitivity. Right? You can like fly your plane pretty well. Okay. So now let's actually update our flaps and stuff like that. So let's go to the first function, which is the yaw, and yaw is up and pretty sure yaw is up and down. No, pitch is up and down. Yaw is left to right, like that, right? So if you go into our animation blueprint, not the sports car. We actually want it from our jet. All right, I'll show you here. So if we are going left to right, what we want to do is actually get our tail flaps to go left to right, you know? And if this one goes to the right, this one also has to go to the right because it's together, okay? So the way we can do that is to actually go into the jet, jet's NM blueprint. Open this up, and on begin play, we want to get a reference. So begin play. Try get pawn owner, and you want to cast to jet master. Okay, and we just want to save that as a reference so we can use it. Editor preference, you can disable this little annoying tooltip by just saying, there you go. So now it won't give you this annoying tooltip when you hover over stuff. Anyway, on the animation, right? What we want to do is first check if it's valid. Because if it's not valid, we don't want to have a bunch of errors on the begin play. Now that we have that, what we want to do is actually we want to get the, if we look at the function, right? This is our target yaw, but we don't want that. We want to have the current yaw, which is how much the plane is turning. And then we want to clamp that. We want to clamp that to the, where is it? Constant control surface. Flap pitches. We want to like clamp it between that value and the one we have. So let's start with the first one. So get all right, there are privates. We don't want to have them as private because we need them in the animation blueprint. So the current yaw, pitch, and roll. Make sure they're all not privates. Then from here, get current roll. start with the roll, right? Then we want to get this roll, we want to in range this, or map range clamp this, or just clamp it basically. Just clamp this between 0 and our, which one is it? Let's see. It's the ruddery. No, that's rudders roll. If we roll, we want to have the side wings, these two. So those will be the, I think it's the, let's see. Let's start with the pitch first, it makes more sense. So get current pitch, and we want to clamp that between 0 and our max elevator pitch, and this will be our elevator, let's just say elevators. Okay, and now we can actually go into the enemy graph, and after the wheel controller we want to transform modify the bone. So the first bone we want to do is the, let's see, we have the flap wing L, we have 1, and we have 2. Okay, so let's say for this is flap L1, and we'll grab another one, which is 2. Okay, and we want to say rotation. For rotation, add to existing. Okay, now we want to split this, and our elevator will go into the pitch, and for the second I'm just gonna divide that by, let's say, like 2, so it's less. Okay, so let's see. Why is it not doing this? What's our max? 25? Okay, it should normally. So what if I say replace existing? It should just always update every frame. Okay, that broke it. Okay, so makes sense. But I think this is too little. Let's say 0 to 90. It's updating them. You can see that they're updating, but it's not a lot. We might want to have this value, or we can get the current pitch and we can multiply this by the same amount, which is 20, and then clamp that, and now it should be a lot more. Yeah, okay. But now it only goes between 0 and 90, so it needs to be minus 90, 90. Okay. Say minus 35, 35 for that wing. And also make sure that we want to have the inverse of this. So multiply that by -1. So that way if we go up and if we go down, I think this is how it is. I'm not actually too sure about it. I think it is like that, but if not, you can always correct me. but I think it's like that. Now, let's say that, let's divide this by 1.1 instead of like 2. There you go. You have a little bit of a difference, but not a lot, you know? Just a little bit of, okay. And now we also want to have, when we do the elevators, we also want the tail wings to do the same thing. So get this and do that as well. I will say the tail flap R, tail flap L. This will go into here, and this will go into there. And now, no, not the tail flaps. What's it called? We want these back ones. Let's see. Oh, tail wing instead of flap. Tail wing L. Tail wing R. Okay. There you go. So now if we apply, there you go. And these ones need to be a lot less. You know what I mean? So we'll say like divided by 1.5. Let's try that. It's a lot of trial and error, but yeah, it is what it is, you know. I think that's fine for now. Okay. So these are the elevators. Let's clean it up a little bit. Let's get rid of that, copy this and paste that down here. Then we can clean this up like so. And that. And say, go here, F2. Elevators. So these will be our elevators. And here we want to say get elevator position. Get the elevator position. Okay. Grab the jetmaster, make a little reference for it. Okay. So that is the pitch. Now if we roll, we want to have the left ones, so these ones, to go up, right? And the other ones need to go down when that happens. So let's get the roll, get current roll, and do that. And then we want to, instead of that, we want to duplicate this and say the, I think it's ailerons, flaps. I think it's flaps, but we're not actually using those. So it's whatever. We can name it whatever we want. Let's call it the flaps. We want to set the flaps to be this. Okay. Same thing, but what we need to do is, well, we need to determine which one it is, or the easiest way around is to go here. Let's copy. Oh, first thing, we should also do the left side as well. So drag up a little bit. Copy and paste. Like so. That goes up there. This goes down here. Okay, so we have the left, so now we need R1. R2. Like so. Now we want to just copy this and drag this out. Paste this here. And this will be the flaps. So this one will go down here, and we don't need the, we can use the tail wings, it's fine. Okay. And now for the flaps, so for the back flaps, first one will be the normal value. Second value will be the inverse value of that. So that goes in there. Okay. Like so. And the, let's keep the left one the same again. And for the right one, we'll inverse this. So we'll say this multiplied by -1. Okay, that will be that. And copy it again, paste this right here. So we have the negative values of this. Okay, so now if I turn right, it works. Turn left, it also works. If I now go up, down, up left, up right, it all works except the left wing. The left wing does not work. Why is that? Let's see. Left flap. Alright, so we have left, that's working. The right one does not seem to be working. Why is that? Yeah. As you can see, like those flaps, you can't turn them. Why is that? Is that something with the, well, no, because it doesn't have any. Oh, it's because we have elevators still here and not flaps. That works. Up works. Down works. There you go. Okay. So roll is working and the flaps are working. Now the last thing is the rudders. Okay. So copy this again. And let's say we have roll, pitch, now a yaw. Current yaw. Okay. And we want to make another one and call this the rudders. Set that up like so. Enum graph. And now we only want to have 2. For the last one we only want to have 2 because we only have the rudders. So copy and paste. There you go. Paste that there. And make sure that these are the tail flaps. So left, tail wing. Let's say tail wing L, tail wing R, okay. And do the rudders in here. Needs to be in the yaw, I think. We'll see. It's still the wrong one. Flap. Flap. Okay. I think it needs to be. Yeah. Okay. Now let's, by default, let's start doing like liftoff. So by default, set this to be nothing. Okay. So if we put this guy on the floor, okay. Let's put this guy on the floor like so. Press play. Oh, he is in the floor, I think. Yeah, he's still on the floor. Okay. So now he's on the floor, right? Now we need to make it so that like you're taken off. So you're actually like taken off, okay? So let's say that let's actually call the calculate ground position, but only after like 0.1 or like after 1 second, we're gonna calculate our ground position. Okay. And also in our interp rotations, after we make sure we want to interrupt the rotation, which currently has been set to false, so it's not doing that. Okay, let's see. Did it actually interpret? Doesn't look like it. Calculate ground for duration. Let's actually see if it does it. Pretty sure it's not doing it. Why? Calculate ground position, which is just going to... Oh. Wrong function. Okay. We need to configure the parameter first. There we go. So now we are on the ground. So we should do it that we are... It's in our drive thing. Steering, if we are not in the air, we steer. Same here, that's all looking fine. I think the problem is that our vehicle is too light, I think. Like it has so much power. And that has to do with the thrust. Let's actually make sure that our thrust only gets applied when we are in the air. For not in the air, like if we're on the floor, we just want to drive. Okay. And now we add some rotation, that's fine. The only thing is like it's out of control, as you can see. Don't know why it's doing this. I think it's because I still need to like do the same thing here, where it only updates the yaw if we're in the air. Update yaw when we're in the air. We can do pitch, but we don't want to do roll. So roll is another one that we only want to do if we are in the air. Let's do that. There we go. Let's see if that helps anything. So why is this happening now? Our pitch is too hard, but we can now drive. We are applying. We're applying stuff, right? Where is it? Pretty sure it's the calculate new position. Yeah, here we're doing it. So what we need to do is actually check if we are in the air as well. If we're in the air, we do all of this. If we're not in the air, we don't care about all of this. But now, don't know why, but it's circling and it doesn't make sense why it's circling. Is it because of the interrupt? But it's default 0, so that shouldn't matter. Oh. Well, this just says if it's in the air, it's not actually doing anything else. For just in case, just disable this. It's doing this and I don't know why. I think it's because it's on the floor. Also, it's pitching up. It's pitching up while we're on the floor and then it breaks, so let's try the same thing. So if we're in the air, update the pitch. Otherwise we want to set the roll to be 0. I don't know what's going on here though. Oh, it's the reason why is because it's falling. If it's falling, right? It took a little. It's like it's colliding with the. What if we ignore self? It's lifting. A line trace is lifting the. It's actually lifting the plane up. So what if I just say the trace that it gets?
So 2 weeks ago, my girlfriend came out to me and she said, "I just think we're not working as lovers." To which I replied, "Ah, come on. That's what you said about the cousins thing." And then 1 week after that, she came up to me and she said, "I'm thinking of leaving you." To which I replied, "Please, no."
If I just set to like 500. So it's a long ass trace, right?
Yeah, let's do some
Yeah, look, it's actually lifting up the it's lifting up the plane. Why is the trace lifting up a plane is what I'm trying to understand. Oh, because it doesn't have gravity? But regardless, this trace should... Oh! We actually have to ignore the trace for this. So it doesn't block it. Still bugs out. And the pitch is still messed up. Let's actually go down here. Go to the debug and get one more. Let's say pitch, right? I will do the current pitch in here.
Okay, just to give you some context, ladies and gentlemen, this is Martha, my stalker. Say hello to Martha.
Don't you dare say that to me! I'm a paying customer! How dare you insinuate mixed intentions! You apologize to me right now!
Pitch is 0.
Fucking hell, who unlocked the doors from Broadmoor?
You can't call me a stalker! When you're the one creeping around my house at night, peering in through my windows, sending me emails begging for my butthole!
Babe?
Yes, you do!
Babe?
Sorry,
live
can
streaming.
we get her out, please? Someone? That's... I don't know what that is. Look, sorry, can we get her out, please? Yeah?
No, you put your hands on me. You're not allowed to put your
Now it's going down.
Terry. Oh, forget it. Greg.
Was that Martha?
Yeah.
That was nuts.
I know. We need to get out of here.
I want to meet her.
You're not serious?
I am. I want to meet her.
No, Terry, that is not a good idea.
It is. Think about it. I'm prepared for this. I can get through to her.
Think about it. She's insane. There's no getting through to her. You'll have to come down the back way with me.
What's so weird about it is the fact that it's just
Fine. Loser. You know, it's kind of comical, you being scared of a middle-aged woman.
Well, if you find that funny, wait till you hear about my phobia of massive abandoned fucking back rooms. Oh, shit.
I don't know why it's doing this.
Do you think she saw us?
I hope not.
What if we just constantly update these ones anyway?
Should we get a drink, Nicky?
I don't know. I don't really plan on being here with you.
Just give me one more chance, please.
Thing is, like,
Look, it's not about me giving you another chance.
I don't know why it's putting the nose up.
Okay, well, you can always sit on the table behind me and talk to me over your shoulder, which you've learned.
Yeah. You'd love that, wouldn't you?
Jesus, that date was brutal.
Yeah.
What if we interpret?
I really would have fancied your chances had she not interrupted.
You just have the right thing to say, don't you?
First of all, what we could do, actually, which might be a really good idea, is as long as we are on the floor, as long as we are not in the air, right? If we're in the air, then we don't. If we're not in the air, we want to enable gravity when we're on the floor.
Do you ever think that you'd be able to see past what I did?
There you go. I just needed to enable some gravity. Our interpretation is messed up, but that's fine.
I win, essentially, for the rest of the time.
I can live with that.
Who's the skank?
Oh,
You must be Martha.
I'm gone.
I've heard so much about you. I've heard fuck all about you.
Oh, calm down.
Who's the fucking skank?
Teresa. My name is Teresa.
Come on, I think Martha's gonna have a little bit more information than that.
Listen, Terry, I can't let you do this, but it's not a good time.
Oh, sit down. It's exactly the right time.
Don't you touch him, bitch!
Martha,
I
seriously.
swear to God, you lay another finger on him, I'm gonna wipe that lip from you, mark my words.
Seriously. Let's step outside, Martha, okay?
Honestly, Donny, that's if you're fucking. But I don't think you'd stood so low as to put your dick somewhere this dirty.
What do you mean, dirty?
You know exactly what I mean.
Okay, I think we should all just calm down a bit, yeah?
No, not till you tell me who the foreign car with the high cheekbones is. Acting like I've got no right to be here, but she's got the right to be in my fucking country.
All right, Martha, calm down, okay? It's all right, mate. I've got this. Don't worry.
This isn't gonna complicate you, mate. Drunkies and rapists, a lot of them. I swear to God, if I had my way, I'd sink their boats on the horizon.
You know what? I'm getting bored of this now. So, Donnie, why don't you just tell her that you're on a date with me and she needs to fuck off?
don't know why it's still like the mesh is getting affected by this, which does not make sense.
What is the truth?
Shut your fucking mouth and listen to me. There is a fucking parallel world where I want you. Okay? So you stay away from me. Do you hear? If you so much as fucking slip in my fucking direction, I will see to your grave. Do you understand? Do you fucking understand?
I understand.
Now get the fuck out of my life.
It's something I'll take. We have our calculate the ground position. Oh, I think I also need to make sure that we ignore ourselves. Our plane is still jittering, which I don't know why it's doing that. I think it's because I have this and it's just not long enough. Yeah. So let's get this. Let's add like an offset value of like 50 to it. Let's see.
6 months.
It put it up. Why?
It's taken me 6 months to report Martha.
I mean, not really.
Okay. I should have started with Terry.
Well, it's in the air, so it's not doing that now.
But I didn't. I was like to report something. How does it work? Would you like to report?
Alright, now we're driving.
I should have mentioned the growth on the canal, but I didn't.
Now if I lift,
I should have mentioned her name, the articles, her previous crimes, but I just didn't. Look, I'm really worried here. I think she needs help. And when the policeman asked, why did it take you so long to report it? It all just came flooding back.
what I'm thinking, right? What if we just don't have any of these controls? And we just have our
5 years earlier, I was
plane.
at the festival. It was always an ambition of mine to take a show there.
Okay.
To join the hustle
That way we
bustle of
don't need to
street
have
performance
this
and
in
sell
air.
the mark of a shot of fame.
We can just have the trust
I knew I
value.
had to come here one day and take a chance myself. Writing, acting, comedy.
And then we don't need to check if we're on the floor or not. Because we're actually doing it depending on the speed. Yeah, that actually works pretty well.
Venue on the outskirts of town. I noticed the grubby windows, the sticky floors, the smell of chip fat as I walked in.
Now we can also land, I'm pretty sure. Although I'm terrible at stuff like this, so probably not. But yeah, we can also land. Except the fact that, let's just get rid of that. The wheels are not spinning though. As you can see, like, the wheels are not spinning.
Do you mean like a different door or
Put it in the corner, shove the table in the same.
well, this is like the stage here in with the main one.
That's right.
I mean,
That's the one thing that's annoying is like the wheels don't spin because we need to say like set throttle. We need to use like the set throttle in order to move the wheels from this when you say set throttle input, right? But what if I say set throttle but make the engine just not have an engine? How would that work? Just want to test this. So in our truss we just set this to be our throttle speed as well. I just want to see if it would spin the wheels. It kind of does. If I do throttle here. Sort of.
The shows were just awful. Most days I had to cancel due to nobody turning up. This one time I had to end the show early when I was caught in the crosshairs of a stag do. Some days I stood not handing out any flyers in the hope nobody would come. I was about a week in and I felt like the dregs of show business.
Well, we could also just get the trust speed. Let's try this. So we're gonna check if we are in the air. Well, we don't know if we're in the air, so get trust. I think trust speed is a private, yeah. Okay. So get the trust speed, and we wanna max map range clamp this between this and the get max max trust speed.
Better than yesterday, I suppose.
What was yesterday?
A Batman economy.
Yeah, that's only fair. I let someone's wallet last night. See if it's worth it. I know how much you artists love to scream.
Let's try this. I just want to test this out for a second. So modify bone, okay, which is gonna be the wheel R for the back, and then we just want to add this to the. I think it's pitch. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Fucking love that show. What did you do on it? I was on the writing staff. Yeah. Holy shit.
Whoa, what happened?
Look, I'm doing this show up at the Hot Bar. Come down and see it if you can.
Furlong's cancer.
It's not really doing anything, is it?
We'll try.
So you guys need anything decent?
See you later.
Yeah. Yeah. Terrible first impression on my part, but shock. You work in the industry, yeah?
Okay. Okay. But
See that guy over there?
needs to be.
The road cop. Fucking amazing. Have you seen it? Listen, boys. Don't get mental. Should be okay.
Okay.
You've got to be happy.
But it needs to be more, so
Wow.
say 50,000.
Yes. Anyway, the actors made that show for us, mate. Couldn't agree more. Hey, better
Okay.
and a comedian when they laugh. Maybe artists when they don't. How that is about. Maybe movie art.
I've entered 2 from our variable
And tell me about it.
to this. Get the world delta seconds. I will say like 10. Basically just coding a whole system out on my own instead of using the default ones. Don't know why, but
I mean, you just said you didn't like it. I don't know. Why would you do a show that you don't
I
like?
just slowly rotate back, yeah.
Prostitute.
Oh, of course. We still need to decide, like, find if we're in the air. Because, like, now I can just do that and the wheels will spin, which isn't really good.
We'll probably cut that bit.
definitely need to work on this still. But we can land. The whole thing is like, if I'm on the floor, it needs to be lower.
Yeah, I suppose this is what she would have wanted. Me to die with her. Then every night I would go out with Darian and live life like a celebrity in the main private members bar in town.
I'm gonna end the stream for today. It's only a short one, but I gotta go to bed. I have to go to work, so thank you all for joining in. And yeah, I see you guys later.